And so this is really a radical counter view to what I would say is even a traditional biologist view, which is that we should be more humble as a species. Yes, we have our extraordinary skills, but frankly, every species has its extraordinary skills. We're good at language and we can build these amazing things. But an elephant has thousands of muscles in its trunk, and the exquisite way in which it can manipulate that's like nothing else we can do. Ants and bees have these extraordinary social lives. Every species is actually, in a very real sense, equally evolved as we are, because it's been evolving for exactly as long from the original source of life on Earth. So there is no special status in biology to humans, and we should come off our high horse. Now, the implication of what you're saying is actually that's not quite right. That knowledge, which somehow became part of the human evolutionary story at some point, is special and allows this particular species to do things that are not just a different kind of thing from others, but different in principle.
Yes. First of all, what gives living things their miraculous power compared with non-living things, compared with most of the things in the universe, is likewise just knowledge. Knowledge is encoded in what is really a computer program in the DNA molecule.
So in your articulation of it, knowledge is something much broader than a worldview that is encoded in a human mind. It's much broader than that.
That's right. Knowledge isn't just a matter of belief, and it's not just a matter of human psychology. It is information that has causal power.
Knowledge is information that has a causal power. That's a beautifully crisp definition. And
I've gone through about 3 or 4 definitions of knowledge in my thinking about this, and that's my present one. I get this more general concept of knowledge from the philosopher Karl Popper, who spoke of knowledge without a knowing subject. And the 2 main types of knowledge that he was interested in was scientific knowledge in human minds, on the one hand, and knowledge in the form of adaptations in genes of living organisms, on the other hand. Now, that second type of knowledge is not knowledge in a knowing subject, but nevertheless, it's information that is spectacularly honed for its ability to cause physical effects. So the genes for the eye can cause physical effects of focusing, which can then change the trajectory of the animal, which can then make it kill another animal or escape from another animal, and so on. And the program in DNA has punched above its weight by a vast factor. Now, humans can transcend that in at least 2 ways. One is that the amount of information in our brains is vastly more than the amount in our DNA. So the DNA has built up knowledge by evolution and so on, but we have added to that both by culture and by individual thinking. And the brain simply holds more bits of information than DNA does. And the other thing is, which is more important, that humans have a different kind of knowledge, namely humans have explanatory knowledge. Humans have understanding. And I argue in my second book that explanatory knowledge is the stuff that has infinite reach. It seems unlikely that biological evolution could ever, let's say, move an animal to the moon and back. But we know that human-type knowledge, explanatory knowledge, can do that.